Hi, I'm Aneesa Abbas Higgins, and I'm reading to you today from Winter in Sokcho by Elisa Shua Dusapin. The novel was first published in 2016 in Switzerland by Edition Zoe in French, and I translated it into English for Daunt Books Publishing, and it was published earlier this year in February. The novel takes place in a town called Sokcho, which is a small resort town in South Korea, near the border with North Korea. And the narrator is a young woman who works in a rundown guest house. In the winter in Sokcho, it's bitterly cold, there's nothing to do there. But a guest has arrived recently, a Frenchman by the name of Caron, who's an artist doing some research for his next graphic novel. The next day, I went for a walk on the beach that ran the length of the town. I loved this coastline, scarred as it was by the line of electrified barbed wire fencing along the shore. The border with North Korea was barely 60 kilometers away. A wind-scraped figure stood out against the building works in the harbour. The name in the passport flashed through my mind, Jan Caron, walking towards me. A dog sprang up from a pile of nets and began to follow him, sniffing at his trousers. One of the workers called the dog back. Caron stopped to stroke it and said something that sounded like, "That's okay." But the man put the dog back on its lead, and Caron carried on walking towards me. He drew level with me, and I fell into step beside him. "This winter landscape is beautiful," he shouted into the wind, taking in the beach with a sweep of the arm. I wasn't convinced he meant it, but I smiled anyway. Over at the landing jetty, the screech of metal could be heard from the cargo ships. "Have you been working here long?" "Since I left university." His hat slipped, caught in a gust of wind. "Can you speak up?" he asked, pressing the hat down over his ears. All I could see of his face was a narrow band. Instead of shouting, I moved closer to him. He wanted to know what I'd studied. Korean and French literature. "You speak French then?" "Not really." To be honest, my French was better than my English, but I felt intimidated at the thought of speaking it with him. Luckily, he did no more than nod in agreement. I was on the verge of telling him about my father, but I held back. He didn't need to know. "Do you know where I can find ink and paper?" The Sokcho stationery shop was closed in January. I told him how to get to the nearest supermarket. "Will you come with me?" "Well, I don't have much time." He stared at me intently. I said I'd go with him. We walked past an expanse of concrete. An observation tower rose up in the middle of it, pumping out the wailing of a K-pop singer. In town, restaurant owners dressed in yellow boots and green baseball caps stood in front of their fish tanks, waving their arms around to attract customers. Caron walked past the window displays without seeming to notice the crabs or the octopuses with their tentacles suctioned against the glass. "What brings you to Sokcho in the dead of winter?" I needed peace and quiet. "Well, you've come to the right place," I laughed. He didn't respond. Perhaps I bored him. But so what? His moods weren't my problem. Why should I worry about filling the silences? I was the one doing him a favour. A mangy-looking dog came shambling towards him. "Dogs seem to like you." Caron nudged it away from him. "It's my clothes. I've been wearing the same ones for a week. They must stink." "I told you I do laundry." I didn't want you getting blood on my clothes." If he was trying to make a joke, it was lost on me. I thought he smelled fine, a mixture of incense and ginger.